Jamboard that I created. I originally had a teacher who was going to use Casey Verdugo's Google Slides version of this calendar, and just was worried about her kindergartners really being able to manipulate it themselves, them being new and not really familiar with the Google product. So Google Slides has a lot of toolbars and things around it, and sometimes can get confusing. And so I suggested Jamboard, and the only problem with Jamboard is it's a lot of extra work creating all these extra pieces. It's not quite as easy as it is in Google Slides. So I just wanted to create a quick tutorial to kind of show you how to use the calendar, but also how to create your own. So first of all, just kind of showing you the idea is that the kids could drag and drop and create their calendar. So I could say today is Monday, February 5th, 2020. Yesterday was Sunday, tomorrow will be Tuesday, and so they can drag and drop those different things into the calendar. So that's kind of the gist of that. And then the next slide, the weather today, they can drag in the different pictures and words to talk about the weather, the season, and pull in the picture as well. So again, just trying to make it really user friendly. Each one of these objects are an individual image. And then for the numbers, I did just use sticky notes so they can change that. That was easier than creating an image because you need to edit that each day. And then the last piece is the base 10 blocks. Again, these are repeated, duplicated blocks, images that are created, and they can drag and drop those as well. With these boxes, they can draw in those if you want them to practice writing their numbers. They could write in there, or they could drag a sticky note in there as well. So that's just kind of an overview of that. Now I'm going to show you how you could create your own Jamboard. Now I'm going to walk you through creating one from scratch. So I'm going to create a Google Jamboard for a behavior tracking system, a token system. So this size is going to work just fine for my background. So I'm going to start by creating a box that is going to have the actual token board on it, and then I'm going to leave the right side empty because that's where I'm going to have my drag and drop pieces hanging out. So I'm just going to fill this in so it's a nice color, and then I'm going to add a shape for my first box, and I want to make sure that it's exactly square so my tokens will fit perfectly. So I'm going to do 2 by 2, and then I'm going to copy and paste that so that I have 2 that are exactly the same size, and use my red lines to make sure they're aligned. And then I'm going to add a text box that says first, and I can change the font there, and I'm going to change it to Verdugo because it's my favorite for primary kiddos. All the letters are the right way. So then I'm going to copy and paste that so that I have first and then, or next. The next thing I'm going to do is create the token boxes along the bottom. So I'm going to use that square shape again, probably smaller than my task boxes, and then I'm just going to copy and paste so that I have 5. So we're just going to assume that this student has to earn 5 tokens to get to the next activity. And again, using that red line to align these boxes. I'm just going to dress this up with an arrow and add some color to these boxes so that it is more kid friendly. Obviously, you can create whatever color scheme that the child might enjoy. I'm also going to go ahead and make this side bar over on the right side transparent, so I can go to background and make the background transparent as I did on other things. We're going to save this as a image file by going File, Download PNG. I then am going to upload it into the folder that I created for all these pieces that I'm going to be creating. Jump over to my Google Jamboard, hit the image button, and I can add it from my Google Drive. There it is. And then I'm going to need to stretch it out to fit across the back of this slide in Google Jamboard. And you'll notice that white space is there. That kind of helped me with spacing because I knew that the Google slide was about the same size as the Google Jamboard slide. So you'll see that I have that white area over there where I'm going to place my tokens from the student or teacher to grab from. Let's create the tokens by opening a new Google Slides presentation. The first thing I want to do is I want to change my page setup to be a square shape. So I'm going to click Custom and make just a square shape. The size really doesn't matter. The first thing I'm going to do is create a shape for my token, and I'm going to use a rounded corner so it kind of stands out in my token box that I created in Jamboard. I'm going to give it a nice thick border. stands out. And then I'm just going to create a white background. Now, that's the background for this image. I want my background to be transparent because I don't want this white around the edges to show. Then I'm going to go to mycutegraphics.com. They have royalty-free images, and I'm going to get this boy working and add that in here as my clip art. So again, I could continue creating these to keep that transparent background. I could go duplicate slide, and then I could just delete him. That way I already have my border made. This background is already transparent, so I'm good to just add a new token in there. For example, I may say you need to work first, and then maybe they choose kinetic sand. Another site that I use for royalty-free stock images is Pixabay. And so I'm just gonna search kinetic sand. This is a great picture right here. These images are free for download. With each token, then I have to go File, Download, and then PNG. And so you'll see that it's labeled token pieces. I'll probably wanna rename that file so I can keep all of these separate because it's just gonna be token pieces 1. And then in Google Jamboard, we will import all those images that we created individually, saved individually into our Google Drive folder, and we can drag them over to the side there and create a collection. And let's say this is the student's favorite character, so this is what they're gonna earn 5 of. I'm gonna go ahead and make those the right size. Perfect. And I'm gonna use that duplicate button and make sure that I have 5 tokens. So then I can just stack those on top of each other and they would earn those. So I have all the choices above here, just make more of those options, and then they would plug in, okay, first I'm gonna do this, then I get kinetic sand when I earn my 5 tokens. So that's just another way that you can use Jamboard.